Well, it's Karen with Karen Test Stuff on Twitter and YouTube. And today I'm here with my friend Laveena to talk about all things cultivating growth change while being mindful of the disruption it may cause. Hi, Laveena.
Hi, Karen.
It's wonderful to have you here today. I'm so glad we were finally able to make this happen.
Thank you so much. And I'm really, really excited to be sharing thoughts and having a really, really nice, healthy discussion here with you.
It's exciting. I love that everyone's been getting in on this because it's such an important topic that we need to speak about, that the more voices, the better.
100%.
So let's start off right here at the very beginning.
hmm
How do you increase the visibility of testing? Because that's what we're here for, right?
Yes. So there's various ways of doing this. I think it depends on your personality as well, your skills as to how kind of open you are to sharing these things and how can you help everyone else learn from your skills. So I think there's few ways we can do the sharing, if that's internally, say for instance doing brown bag sessions, workshops, what do you call it, pairing with testers. That's also increasing visibility on testing. Documentation, demoing, those are all part of internal sort of increasing of visibility. You can also try sharing what you have tested and why, because I think it's important. So that could be part of a demo, as it helps people understand what you're trying to do. This could potentially be a MVP or a POC on something that you've researched and you want to buy in from your managers. So this could be a very, very great way for increasing visibility on testing of a tool, for example. And as I said, pairing is very caring. So always try and pair with your team members. I think they are a great asset. Some team members already know how tools function, so why not work with them and increase even more the visibility of what's existing within your teams. So that's what I would suggest to start off from.
Exactly, exactly. And then we can even take that to another level by spreading awareness to the public through things
Exactly.
like these video series or
Yes.
conferences that you can speak at or host at, or just making connections in the community. Just talking to other software testers who maybe don't know about this amazing community that we have, and just sharing and letting them know that there's all these people out here to support and encourage them.
Exactly. And again, when we go externally, we can choose as well if we want to give a talk, we want to do a workshop, we want to just socialize, network with people, and maybe give a few hints and tips on doing things. Because when we go to such events, we engage with people. Some people might come up with some blockers they have, and you might have the right answer. So it's the best way. So I think if you are confident internally, start from there and then slowly make baby steps to the external world. And if you're doing both, then kudos to you, because it does take a lot of time and energy and efforts, especially with having a job via side as well. So you have to just manage your time and your priorities well.
Absolutely. So while we're managing time and priorities, there's something that we need to be mindful of as well, and that being the processes that are already in place. What are
Yes.
people already doing that we need to take care to not disrupt all the work that's already been done?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's super important as well. So sometimes what I notice is bringing change or ideas in a team could sound quite disrupting because everyone's happy with what they have and the way of working. I think some team members do not like change. Very quick. They feel like they're comfortable in their space and they want to continue that way. However, um, with the world of technology and all the new things that are coming out there, sometimes bringing some positive changes and working alongside the way the tech world is working is really essential. Um, I think you should assess the current situation, be mindful of what's already there, and build from it, because it's just like a Lego kind of structure. So you search what's there first on the ground, so you couple of Legos, and then you start just building them up and see where you can get to. Of course, it could cause some sort of disruption from certain higher management teams and stuff, because they might think that we are trying to bring a lot of changes, and they already have this, so why should they keep enhancing? But that's where we kind of work on ourselves, isn't it? That's where we work on the way we are delivering that sort of new change, or a new way of testing, or a new type of testing, which they may not be aware of, or a tool that they could still use jointly with what they're using, and make the most of it as well. But it's what I say is we need to work on ourselves, the way we want to kind of get a buy-in from the higher management. So sometimes, for example, if I might say that this tool is great, and it will give us value, efficiency, and less cost, and time saving, it may look like I'm doing a great kind of pitch, but not everyone wants it. So maybe I should do it in a better way, that I have created a POC here. I've done research on this tool. This was my approach. This is what the POC looks like. So showcase what you've done, and then see what the feedback comes from there. And because you've actually gone and assessed what's already there and slowly built on it, your audience will understand where you come from. So you will be understood in a positive manner. And as I say, expect to be understood, but also expect not to be understood. So you may need to work on your kind of phrasing or words, so that your audience can actually get a buy-in from your idea.
Absolutely. Because at the end of the day, the reason why this is so tough is because we as people are not malicious. We don't like to tell people that they're wrong. Um,
Exactly.
but we have this information that we need to bring to the team to help make everyone better. Um,
Absolutely.
Not to say that anyone is bad, just that we collectively become better, which is
Yeah, yeah.
exciting.
Yeah, and basically you're growing your career in your own way. So by bringing new ideas, it's not that we're doing anything wrong. I think testers in general are super curious, they're super motivated, and we always like to see new ways of doing things, things that would help our kind of areas which are pretty much slow or taking a lot of time. So it's nice for us to kind of work on things that would speed things up for us, because
It's
then we win some time and we can focus that extra time that we won on maybe exploratory testing, for instance.
mhm.
So it works both ways.
Absolutely. There's so much potential when you start to pair with all these other positions that it really brings to light a lot of interesting dynamics because it's all about relationship building, isn't it? You know,
Yes,
pairing with developers, learning how they do their unit tests, kind of learning, had them learning how you may run Cypress versus them, because we have
yes,
developers who do that and we have testers who do Cypress. So they work in
absolutely.
tandem.
Yeah, yeah. And I guess you build a relationship, as you just said. It's always good to have that sort of relationship, because if you're stuck on something, the developer would have that knowledge and can come and unblock you. So if we are kind of bringing something into onto the table, and we have that knowledge already in our team, that's amazing. That's kudos to that team, because luckily that developer knows the tool, and it's nice to apply those changes together, work together. And it's nice to kind of have that backup as well. So you have that member with you because they've been working with you, and it's really good, I would say.
Absolutely. So, how do you use observability metrics to help get buy in from the rest of the team?
So I would be very honest. I don't use a matrix as such. I try and come up with as many sort of beneficial points. I would put them as positive points where I can get a buy-in. So an example I could give you is accessibility testing. Um, Basically, in my previous experience, when speaking about accessibility, I've straight away been told, no, we're not going to do this, even though the product is front end facing and it's going to be used by clients. When I ask for what's the reason behind saying no, I get the answer, we are just a B2B, we are not a B2C. Now, this is not very positive. This answer does not digest for me. It will stay in my mind, and it has always stayed in my mind that we may have members in our team that may be disabled. So should we not have an inclusive product? Should we not be socially aware? Do we really want a fine? Is that what we want? So that made me think more and more. So the way I worked on it was I prepared a report of all the bugs, issues on an application. I showcased it to the senior tech lead, and from there onwards showcased it to my team members, and then showcased it to the product owner as well, just so that everyone's on board and that we could create some tickets in the backlog. And
That's
that's
amazing.
where, yeah, and that's where I saw that once the tickets were being created, I thought I've really achieved something now. I had to go around bushes again and again and again, but finally I got to it, because it is all a mindset, Karen. I think if you have that quality mindset, you'll go the extra mile. But if you just want to do something, sometimes we feel like we feel comfortable there. That's it. Full stop. We don't want a cultivating growth. We don't want to increase visibility. So I think it's sometimes working so that these two things can be looked at very positively, and that's what I would say. And basically collaborate as much as possible, um, understand what there is already that you can make use of, and then build on further onto it.
Absolutely. And while you're doing that, I wanted to call out this particular last sticky note on this section about
Yeah,
showcasing the style of testing that you're doing. If you can show them what you're testing, where the
yeah,
risks are, and why you're doing what you're doing, it helps people understand so much more intimately what it is that we're actually doing with our time.
absolutely.
Because a lot of what we do isn't visible. It's checking, it's thinking, it's wondering, it's
Yes,
playing.
yes,
So, but we need to be able to show, product owners and product managers and our bosses that we're actually
yes,
getting somewhere. And that really
yes.
helps.
100%. And that's where we get the buy-in. Um, if we are sharing knowledge, just as I said, pairing is caring, sharing is also caring, because that's helping us showcase that we are not just doing our day-to-day tasks, but we are going an extra mile to improve things, to give back to the teams. Because at the end of the day, who is it going to help? Us,
Mhm.
because we are trying to
Absolutely.
improve the ways of working. It's just sometimes when it's taken as a negative noise, that's where sometimes you think, what could I have done better?
Mm.
And that's when you start learning. And it's okay to make mistakes. Like, it's okay to be told, we are not going to go ahead with this now, but maybe we'll look into the future. Sometimes it may feel a bit demotivating that, oh, like I really wanted this. But it's okay. As I said, we always are motivated. We are very curious. As you said, we think, we observe, we explore. And sometimes it's okay to get pushed back, but you never know, you may get the push forward again. So it's just nice to have these ideas building, and having that sort of culture in your teams, the culture of growth, the culture of visibility, sharing, collaboration together, and not just with the testers but with the whole team
Mm.
base. You can.
Absolutely. 100%. I love that. Because without your team, it's hard to get anything done. You get kind of stuck. But I
Yeah.
really enjoyed what you said a while back about the different ways that we work with the individual people on our team, but like
Mhm.
as a team, because as a tester, we have kind of our claws in everything. So we know what each role is doing because we have to know who to go to when there's a problem, right?
Yes.
So having that shared relationship and that shared understanding really drives everybody forward and makes it so much
Yes.
easier on the product.
100%. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, it definitely does. And I think everyone within the team has one goal. We're all trying to deliver the same thing, quality.
Yes.
So then why not work together? Why not collaborate as much as possible, pair with the developers. You never know, you may learn something that could again increase more visibility. So, or you and the developer could have a very, very nice discussion, a very positive one to bring some sort of change in the team.
Yep.
So all these small things are like gems and that you should preserve them really well.
Yes, absolutely. I always say I take little nuggets of wisdom,
Yeah.
little gold nuggets. I like how other people refer to them as chicken nuggets of wisdom. I have seen that online once or twice, and I love that. So, where do we go from here? Where do we take all of this information and change and growth, and where do we go?
So I would say when someone is new into your team, start sharing that sort of idea, those values from the very core. Even when you're interviewing them, share your values. I think it's very important to share. It's that time, when you ask that question, do you have any questions to the interviewee? And I think at that point, you should just say, these are our values, by the way, and
Mhm.
this is how we work. Do you have any questions? Have you worked like this before? I think it's a nice kind of question, a soft question, very comfortable question as well, just to kind of gauge into how that candidate has worked before, and what do the values mean to that candidate, because we can understand of what their point of view would be from there, and it's really important. So I think again, it's basically helping new individuals in coming into our team, onboarding them, and sharing these sort of values. This is how we think. This is how we want to grow. Have a quality culture in our team, and all as the main thing, we are not gatekeeping. We are all sharing. We are not gatekeepers. We are all working for the same goal, for the same product. So having the quality mindset is super, super important,
Mm,
as it says there as well, no one size fits all. So it's nice to have variety in your team. Not every tester has to be super enthusiastic, motivated, curious all the time. It's nice to have a mix of personalities, and because you bounce off each other. Then it's nice to have that conversation, and you never know, when you bounce off each other, you might come up with an idea that, oh, we could make use of this thing in our performance testing, and then you never know, you have a new kind of what do you call it, objective in that, or
mm.
anything else, maybe a new idea. Maybe we should add an extra tester to code review our automated tests, just to get new fresh pair of eyes checking it. So,
Absolutely.
and that just slowly cultivates more sort of, as you say, growth. uh, we cultivate not just growth but the quality mindset together, and at the end of the day, that's all fitting into increasing visibility of how, not just how you work as a tester, but how you bring quality within the team as a tester as well.
Absolutely. I love that. That is, I have nothing to add. Nothing to add. That is perfect. Because I totally agree. You have to try a little bit of everything. And speaking of trying everything, we have a little extra time today. Would you be willing to try something new with me?
Let's go for it.
Wonderful. I'm going to switch to where number one, I have a special guest. Hello, Liliana. Say hello to your people. Say hello to your fans. But I just wanted to have a quick conversation with you before we end about how you how you work as an advocate, because you do so much for the community through sharing other people's work, through your own work, through hosting different conferences. Can you speak a little bit on what your experience has been like as an advocate?
100%. I'll be very, very honest. I have been very shy. Um, I came out of my shell in 2020. I thought, it's lockdown. I don't have to be at massive events. I don't have to face hundreds of people. So maybe it's the time for me to share my knowledge through remote mediums. And I think that's where it helped when I attended my first ever conference. On a women technology board, um, when people got back to me through LinkedIn that your talk was amazing, that gave me the extra boost. And from that one conference, it's gone to about, I don't know how many conferences I do a year. It's just too much sometimes, and as I say, it's managing your time. It's how can you manage work as well as give nuggets of wisdom out there as
Mhm.
well to people, as you said. So it's been excellent. I think it's helped me build my confidence 100%. It's helped me learn more. It's helped me see how testing is evolving day by day. There's so much out there.
Mhm.
When I joined as a tester, I'll be honest, I had no clue there was a community out there. And I joined in 2013. I became a tester. I had zero clue what it's all about. I was never taught about it at university, even though my course was computer science. But it's just how I've learned through the community, how I learned through falling into the job. And I just want to help people out there because I'm sure there's people in the same shoe as me in many parts of the world. And I just want to tell them that it's okay to be shy, but it's nice to share as well because it's so valuable. Like the area that I was talking a lot about was data science model testing. I feel it's so niche, it's so interesting that why not more testers getting involved in this area? And as soon as I started speaking about it, many people just contacted me saying that we'd like you to mentor us into this, we'd like you to tell us what courses we should do to get into this. And it really really is a proud moment for me, and I feel really happy that with some sort of information that I gained, I could share with so many people around the world, and I'll continue to do so because it makes me happy, and it's my, how shall I call it, my happy place to be doing uh, community work like this.
I love that so much. We have very similar hearts.
Yeah.
Everything that you said could have come out of my mouth.
Yeah, it's a lovely feeling.
It's really great. Just the knowing that there's so much support and that you can make mistakes is so
Yes.
important because the people in the community aren't here to judge, they're here to help.
Exactly. And one question that you may post on one of the Slack channels, you have like 10 answers instantly. I love that. It's
Yes.
just great. One tool that you might need some sort of suggestion for, or you want someone, or you want to speak to someone, they just send you the Calendly link that here are my available dates, and we can just jump on a call. It's just amazing. It's so quick. Or even via WhatsApp sometimes. It's lovely. So yeah, I think amazing testing communities out there. I'm really, really honored to be part of that.
It is. And if you'd like to be more involved in the community and get involved in this conversation, please hit us up. We're on the Ministry of Testing Club, we're on Slack, we're on Twitter for now, we're on LinkedIn, we're all over the place. So
Yeah.
come and share in the conversation with us. I'm going to put up our handles on the screen one last time before we wrap up here. Lavina, thank you so much for being with me today. I really appreciate you coming and having this conversation with us.
Thank you so much, Karen, for having me. And I hope this conversation has helped loads of members listening into this.
I hope so too. Thank you all for listening. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.